Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to talk about the newest launch from Ladybug Glow, and this is their Everyday Sparkles palette. I'm going to do a get ready with me kind of a style kind of a video, but main focus would be on the Everyday Sparkles palette. Rest everything, I've been waiting to use my everyday staples when I was out. So I'm going to do a get ready with me with my ride and die makeup, but focusing more on this. This is the look that I created. Also, this everyday palette, let me talk more about the shades. This palette has 4 mattes right here. This one, the shade Peachy, has a tad bit of sparkle. I don't know if you can see that or not. Then they have 4 shimmers, which has 2 multichromes and 2 duochromes. The obvious multichromes are this and this. And then the 2 duochromes that I see is the center 2 shades. This is more like a peachy pink shade and this is more like a bronze to a purple. But these shades are so shifty, so spectacular. Wait till you see when I apply it on your eyes, it's gonna blow your mind. So if you guys are ready to see how I created this look, then please keep on watching. Let's begin. I just did my brows and I used my Maybelline Express Brow Eye Pencil. And this is in the shade Deep Brown. So that's the only thing that I have on my face. I'm gonna quickly finish off my base. So I'm just gonna run through it. For my primer, I'm gonna take my Say Beauty primer. I missed you so very much. I'm gonna take 1 pump and just glide that all across my face. And this gives a beautiful glow to the face, and I need that burst. Feeling so dry, but that instantly this just gives such a beautiful glow, which I love, absolutely love. For my foundation, I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Double Wear, and this one is in the shade 4N1, which is Shell Beige. So I'm just going to take a tiny little bit. Hopefully this still matches me. It used to match me when I was out. Yeah, this will work. I'm just gonna take that on the back of my hand and spread it across with my BK Beauty 101 brush, my favorite foundation brush. How have you guys been? Oh my God, I've missed you guys so very much that I cannot even tell you how much. And I have so much to record now because there's so much new makeup too. Today, the only new makeup that we're going to focus on is the Ladybug Glow Everyday Sparkles, because I really want to focus on that. And I'm mainly going to do only one look today, but I'm sure I'm going to use this more. So if I've used this in the interim, I am going to pop a few pictures on the screen for you guys using that palette, just so that you have more inspiration on how I created the other looks. Today, I'm doing only one look just because I'm getting ready to go to a friend's place and I don't want to wear 2 different eye looks when I'm visiting them. That's the only reason. I love this foundation. Like a staple foundation, I would say, in my routine. By the way, these earrings, these like antique earrings, are my sister's. She is so much into like studs and all. So she really liked this and then she got it. And then she was like, I have so many, do you want this? I really like the design of this. I was like, yeah, sure. What are sisters for, you know? So that is the base. Now let's move on to the concealer. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury concealer. This is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and this one is in the shade 10 Tan. So I'm just going to take a tad little bit right in the center. Almost out of this. Like really close to finishing. I'm going to take the same foundation brush that we use for the face, and then we'll use our BK Beauty concealer brush for underneath the eyes. I'm using the same foundation brush for the face just because I don't want it to be a different color, and I want to mesh it with my foundation as much as I can. There you go. And then our concealer brush, the BK Beauty A506. Just gonna focus that there in the inner corners of the eyelid, and rest I'm just gonna spread it out. And this concealer is basically like my skin tone. I definitely could go with like one lighter shade, but today I'm not looking for too much of brightness underneath my eyes. I just want an even tone. So this works. There you go. Now let's move on to the powder. Yes, powder. I'm going to take my Givenchy Prism Leaf powder again. I miss you so very much. Oh my God, I did miss you very much. I'm going to take a tad little bit on my powder puff, and then I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes. Ah, it's so smoothing. I love it. I'm going to take the powder all across actually, and then spread it across with that same sponge to give that blurred effect. For the bronzer, I'm going to take this Jaclyn Hill Bronzer Duo in the shade Cocoa Rich. This one, it's a tad bit darker, but we'll apply it with less pressure. I just want a little bit more of a red tone bronzer today, just to match with the outfit and the neutraliness of the eyes. I totally can go without a bronzer when I'm wearing this, without the blush when I'm wearing this bronzer, just because I have that rusty tone coming from this bronzer. But just to show you guys, we'll add a tad bit of a blush, but again, a rusty tone, I would say. I did change up my hair. Do you guys see that? I mean, it's not that noticeable, but let me show you. It's more over like an inside, the change of the color. But I mean, if you guys have seen me before, you know, I was like a brown sheet. Can you see that? It's more like inside. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I like it. I was looking for more of like a neutral leaning brown. This seems a little more on the reddier side for me, but this is my first time, so any change is like a good change for me. Okay, now let's move on to the blush. The blush that I'm going to use is this ColourPop Super Shock Cream Blush, and this one is in the shade Yes She Did. I really love the shade of this blush, so I'm going to use that. It's very similar to my Natasha Denona Glam face palette, the darker one, the blush that is in there. Very similar to that, I would say. See, that gives like a rusty reddy tone, just a tad bit. I don't want to focus a lot on the blush today. And then for the highlighter, we're going to go back to an oldie but a goodie. We're going to take our Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. The products that I missed, I immediately wanted on my face, and these are like one among them. I was in a dilemma whether I should use Makeup by Mario, Rare Beauty, or Revlon. I used Rare Beauty yesterday in one of the videos that I filmed. So I was like, let's use Revlon today, and tomorrow would be Makeup by Mario's day. Add a little bit on the nose. Love the glow. Love it. Okay. Now, let's finally move on to the eyes. Oh my God. From the time this is landed in my collection, I really wanted to dip into this. And this is from Ladybug Glow. This is the Everyday Sparkles palette. It's a neutral palette, but with a twist. It has a multi-chromes, duochromes all in it. So let me show you the inside. This, it comes with a mirror. This palette retails for $32. If you can see in the mirror, like reflection, this shade looks like green. So does, like, all these shades look so different in different lighting. It's insane. Like, even this shade has like that tint of green. Can you see that? Yeah, this palette retails for $32. You can use the code SMITHYSONY to save some more. So if you use my code, it will be right under, I would say, like $29. I cannot wait to test this out. Of course, today is not the only day when I'm going to use this, but let's start. Okay, let's start off with the shade Cinnamon, this one. And this is gonna go all across my crease. This last shade also has like a beautiful purple. Can you see that? Oh my god. Okay. Let's take this cinnamon shade all across the crease as like a transitioning crease shade. I wish I could have done like more shadow looks today. But yeah, I mean, you will definitely see more looks coming. So pretty. Blends really beautifully too. Like no harsh edges and nothing. Very pretty. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. By the way, this palette was sent to me from the owner. Thank you so much, Amanda, for sending this my way. Like, I appreciate you and Ladybug Glow so very much, you know that. Like, thank you so very much. So this is the first shade that we had in the crease. This, I really love like shades like this to be like even one and done shades. I generally do like these shades all across my eyelid and like just take a deeper version and then just line my like lash line with it. I really like those kind of looks too. The simple eyeshadow looks. And then I'm gonna take a packer brush with the same cinnamon shade and then just go on the lower lash line also with this. I'm also gonna take this shade, which is Cocoa, this one, also on my outer corners of the lower lash line, because I'm anyways gonna deepen up my outer corners with this shade. Oh, that's so deep. And chocolatey brown. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna dip back into that cinnamon because I don't want to lose that. And just blow out the lower lash line along with that deep cocoa shade. Just like that. Now I'm gonna take reference number 1 with that cocoa shade. Deep chocolatey shade. Love that. And I'm gonna take that right in my outer corner and pat it down, just because I don't want like any harsh edges. I just want depth right there. And I went with like a very light pressure, tapping it on the shadow. I'm pretty sure if I go deep, it can go like super deep and chocolatey. Just like that. Look at the blend. Beautiful. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other eye. Taking that cinnamon shade with the same crease brush that we used, reference number 15, and just blending out the edges. And I'm actually going to take that peachy shade too, not because I need it, but I just want to use that shade and see. It looks like it has tiny specks of sparkle, but we'll see. And I'm going to just focus that on the inner third of the crease here, just to give a little bit more lightness. This is definitely more like peachy pink here, because I'm using the same brush. I don't even know whether you can see it or not. Let me use a different brush. Again, going back into peachy. Can you see that? There you go. Really pretty. I'm gonna swatch all the 4 shimmers just because. Actually, I should swatch the entire palette so that you have an idea of how everything looks. Oh, this last one is so textured and purple. Okay, let's see. That's a beautiful multichrome. I love a Ladybug Glow multichrome, you know that. Like super smooth and super shifty. Like, oh my goodness. Can you see that? Wow. Okay. The next shade. Get ready to be blown, guys. That's like a beautiful pink to a peachy shade. Beautiful. The third shade is like a murky green at my end. Oh, it also has like a bronziness, like a pinky bronze. Can you see that? Oh, that's such a unique shade. I don't think I have a shade like that in my collection. Like I see purple also. I don't know if you can see it or not. Definitely see a little bit of purple at my end. Wow, that's super unique. Okay, the last shimmer shade, it's definitely the texture, like the most textured out of the lot. Not saying like touching wise, because touching wise it's super smooth, but it's definitely more on the PCR side. Can you see that? Oh, you see purple. I see like specks of green too, like greeny bronze. Wow, isn't that amazing? That's beautiful. Okay, let's swatch the mattes also from the palette, and then we'll decide the most difficult situation on what to put on the eyes. Okay, so we have cocoa that we darkened out with, cinnamon, which is our crease shade, coffee that we did not use, and peachy that was in our inner crease. Oh, look at the tones. Beautiful. Okay. Cocoa, cinnamon, coffee, and peachy. There you go. So that is the entire Everyday Sparkles by Ladybug Glow. Beautiful everyday palette, but with such a beautiful twist. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Okay, now let's decide what are we going to put on our eyes. Okay, I'm going to start with this umber shade, which looks like meh in the pan, but that's like the most unique shade that I have from my collection. So I'm going to start with that right in the center of my eyelid, and then I'm just going to go across and spread it out with that deeper shade in just a minute. It's like a very cool tone bronzy shade, but in different specks or light, I definitely can see a purple shift too, like a cool tone purple shade. But majority when I'm looking right in the camera, like right in the mirror, I'll see like a lot of a cool tone gunmetal bronzy shade. I'm going to take the same brush with no additional product, with that deepening shade, and I'm just gonna tap right on the outer corners just to deepen it out and to melt it with that deep chocolatey brown black shade. The next shade that we're gonna apply, let's take Bellow. This one, I know it has a purple to it, but I don't want to go green today. But this has such a beautiful of like a green to a purple to a bronze. I feel like that would go really well. I could also go with Brilho, which is that pink to a peach. But oh my goodness, what is that? Okay, let's take Bellow, the textural one, and I'm gonna just pack that. Oh my goodness, do you see that? I'm gonna melt it with that bronzy shade I don't want it to be a cut crease, but just a scattered effect on the eye. I'm just melting it with my fingers too, just like that. There you go. That's beautiful. Oh, that's stunning. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna take a small definer brush for my inner corners, and I'm gonna go with that Brillo shade, which is that peachy pink shade, just a tad little bit on my inner corners. Oh, that pops. I'm just gonna wrap it around my inner corners. Oof, I cannot even. I'm gonna finish off my eyes with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. Okay, I finished my eyes. Let's finish off with our lips too. I'm gonna take my KKW Beauty Nude 2.5. I missed this. Look how small this is now. So let's line our lips. And then for the lipstick, I'm gonna use my Ladybug Glow lipstick, and this one is in the shade Eden. It's a very, like a perfect nude for me, so I'm gonna take that. The formula is really, really good too. I want a little bit of lightness on the center of my lips. So for that, I'm gonna take this L'Oreal Box of Chocolates liquid lipstick and just take a tad bit right in the center. Just like that. Okay, so let me show you my final look. I really, really, really love this palette. Definitely was like a very pleasant surprise. I mean, I knew that Ladybug's formula is really good, but how much can you go with like a neutral palette? And they completely knocked it out of the park. Like, I feel when you see this palette, it seems like a very peachy pink palette, but as soon as I turn it, you see all the green shifts that are coming through. It's just so beautiful. Look at that. It's really, really, really pretty. I'm absolutely amazed. I love the look that I also created using this palette. I'm going to constantly use this palette, and I'll pop a few pictures on the screen for you guys so that you know that what all like different kind of looks can be created, because I've not used that greeny matte shade. I feel like that with that multichrome shade would be so amazing. Even that with that bronzy shade alone would be absolutely stunning for like a smoky eye look. I give it 2 thumbs ups. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys and it gave you an inspiration of what kind of looks you could create using this palette. But yes, you know what to do. If you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.